Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Blessing Albright and you are very welcome to the channel. So you guys, in today's video we are going to be talking about a very serious topic. Today we are going to be talking about lifetime ISAs. So in the UK, there are actually 4 different types of ISAs that you can invest in. The first one is the cash ISA, the second one is the stocks and shares ISA, the third one is the innovative finance ISA, and then the last one is the lifetime ISA. But in today's video, you guys, we are going to be focusing mostly on the lifetime ISA. You might or might not have heard about this, but lifetime ISA is actually quite popular in the UK, as it is an investment scheme that was introduced by the UK government, sort of to help the people, save for their first or save towards retirement. So these are the 2 major reasons why you should be saving into these funds. And if you are withdrawing from this fund for any other reason, you might actually be losing a part of your money. So today basically we are going to be talking about whether we should use this investment scheme, whether you should totally avoid it, if it's good for a situation. Of course, it all boils down to your personal choices, and I always emphasize that it is important to do your own research and see what actually works best for you. So in every financial year, if you put in a maximum amount of £4,000, you will be able to get a 25% interest given back to you by the UK government. So for every £4,000 that you save, the UK government will give you £1,000. How cool is that, right? The lifetime ISA is something that I used to hear about even before I moved to the UK. So immediately I moved to the UK, I was like, oh yes, this lifetime ISA that everyone has been talking about. Of course, it was a no-brainer. We just had to sign up for it, start saving immediately, and we're getting our £1,000 for every 4k that was saved, and it was moving smoothly and everything was great. Okay, like I said, the maximum you can save in a financial year is £4,000 in a lifetime ISA. But for the other ISAs, if you're using any of the other ISAs, the maximum that you can save in a whole financial year is £20,000. So for all the 4 categories that I mentioned earlier, you can save as much as £20,000 in any of those funds. Right, so back again to the lifetime ISA. So the lifetime ISA, like I mentioned earlier, the main purpose, the main reason you should use it is if you want you want to buy your first house, or you want to use it to save towards retirement. So and I think there's another way, but I mean, if somebody, God forbid, has a terminal illness, they can also, that's an exceptional case, and they can also allow those people to withdraw from the fund. But any reason aside from that, you are going to pay a charge. So they're going to charge you 25%, which will, when you do the math, it will eventually lead to you collecting less money than you actually put into the scheme, and that is not good. Okay, so for us, when we moved to the country, we're like, oh yes, of course, at a point we are going to buy our first property and all of that. So it was a no-brainer. We just decided, oh yes, of course, we're going to just start investing in this scheme. So we did, and everything was going great until it was actually time for us to buy our first home. That was when we realized so the houses that we wanted, the houses that were our preference, they were actually outside of the cap that you're allowed to use the savings for. So basically, if you are buying a house, it has to be under £450,000 in the UK, and the houses that we basically wanted were just above that price, and they don't care. It's one of the terms of the scheme, right? Your house that you're buying as your first home has to be under £450,000. And I feel like when we initially moved to the country, I feel like house prices were not as bad at the time. And when we looked at what was available on the internet, and at that time we didn't even know exactly what we wanted yet, so we felt like, oh, of course there's no way they will not be able to find something under 450k. It will be all right. But you guys, it was not all right. Okay, so when we wanted to start buying, we basically realized that house prices are shot up above the amounts that we had in mind, and so we had to start reassessing. But our money was already locked in the scheme, right? So we just had to use cash that we had outside of the scheme to purchase our property and all of that. But you guys, it would have been so shameful if we had maybe locked in even more money or just anything. It would have just gone so bad. I mean, right now our money is in there and it's fine. It's probably just keep accruing the interest, and we'll probably only be able to collect it when we retire, which is still miles away. But basically we were really looking forward to, you know, using that, like, we're saving all of that money for the purpose of, you know, buying our first home. So, you know, not being able to access the funds when we needed it was sort of heartbreaking for sure. And the crazy part is, so around the time that we were starting to look for the property that we wanted to buy, there was an autumn statement that they were going to make in the UK. So they have these statement things where, you know, they tell us about new legislations and new rules and all of those things. So one of the things they said they were going to say in that sort of commons sort of statement, one of the things they said they would say in the statement was that, you know, they were going to increase the cap. So lots of people have been calling for them to, you know, increase this cap because it's not exactly reflecting the current house prices, especially in London. So I feel like for this fund, if you're outside London, it's actually great. I won't say perfect, but like houses in London are definitely like way above 450k. Even, you know, houses that are not, you know, new builds and all of those things, most of them are above 450k. So it's just not really like reflecting, you know, the current reality of, you know, the market prices of houses and things like that. So, you know, we're really hopeful that in that autumn statement they were going to increase the cap like people were saying, but sadly they did not, which was another heartbreak for us because, you know, it was so close. So yeah, that happened, and, you know, we just realized, okay, you know what, at this point we just have to use money that is not, you know, in that scheme. Basically, we have to like use other funds that we had, you know, for the purpose of buying our first property. So yes, like I said earlier, it's just very important to like do as much research as possible and be sure that, you know, this thing is actually going to be able to serve the purpose that you want it to. You know, do you want to use it for your first home? If you want to use it to save for retirement, totally sweet. I mean, that's what I'm doing now. Personally, I'm going to use it to save towards my retirement, but it's not something that I really decided to do, you know. So yeah, so basically that's what happened in our experience. But other than that, I think it's actually a really great incentive. You know, the rate is actually, I mean, 25% is like a whole lot. You know, in 2 years you would have gotten, in 2-3 years you'd have gotten like 2k or 3k from the government towards, you know, buying your first home and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really amazing. Other than that, you know, just to run through the numbers again, for every 4,000 pounds is the maximum amount that you can put into the scheme, right? So for every 4,000 pounds I save in a financial year, the government will give you 1k on top. So you can do this for as long as you want. Every year you keep getting your 1,000 pounds from the government, sweet money. And yeah, basically if you also want to withdraw for reasons other than buying your first home or retirement, they are also going to charge you 35%. Okay, so yes, that's that about the Lifetime ISA, you guys. I would say I've not had like the best experience with it, but you know, it's just important to like inform other people so that, you know, they don't fall into, you know, the same trap or something. It's not a trap. I mean, it's good. Now I'm happy to, you know, use it to save towards my retirement or whatever, but duh. Anyway, so yeah, that's the situation, you guys. I would if you're outside of London, I would definitely, you know, recommend that, you know, or if you are sure that the, you know, the price of the house that you're going to buy is definitely not going to be above 450k, then absolutely, why not, you know. So yes, those are some of the things to basically consider if you are thinking about signing up for the Lifetime ISA. So yep, that's it for this video, you guys. You know, property purchasing, it always seemed like a big deal. Like when I first came, people were just mentioning different things. It can be a bit daunting sometimes, but you know, the process is actually not as difficult as it sometimes may seem. Trust me, it's like pretty straightforward. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, let me know. But yep, that is the end of this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.